What is going on, guys? We're back with another video. Yeah, we're back with another video, and of course, the man, the myth, the legend, not even a myth, he's just fact, is dead. He's officially career-ended. Not really, but season's probably over. We don't know really the whole story, but he's a 39 overall in my book. Actually, probably lower because he physically can't throw the ball anymore. Yeah, great accuracy, just no power because his arm is gone. And of course, I decided to make Tony Romo here. You know, it's not the only move, but yeah, Tony Romo is the starting quarterback now. He's making quite a bit of money. Do I think this will happen in real life? No. If we had a great offensive line, if we were primed, maybe. That would open the story for anyone. Peyton Manning, for all we know. Who knows? Brett Favre might want to come back. But with this offensive line, the way they're playing, not a chance. Not a chance a guy like Peyton Manning or Romo will want to come back. Who knows? Who knows? But that's why we have the power of the fantasy world. And the fantasy world tells us the Packers are way better in Madden than real life because we are injured from top to bottom. But we're going to assume Bulaga and Bakhtiari sooner or later here. They'll figure it out. We're going to go on, though, for the rest of the season. We don't know what... Actually, I really should give us the wins, shouldn't I? That would actually make a lot more sense to give us, like, the realistic aspect. Yeah, I guess that's what we're probably going to do. It would have been really dumb not to, actually. But yeah, the stats are going to be a little off, but it doesn't matter. We're not going to worry about Rodgers playing the first 6 games or whatnot. We're just going to go on and say Romo takes over with the winning team. It doesn't matter, It really doesn't matter because we have a bye week coming up as well. It gives us a little more time to think about things as well. This one, by far, in my opinion, the least realistic situation coming here for us. Not even a question. So we have here the 4-2 Packers taken on by Tony Romo, which gives us a season-ending total of the playoffs at 10-6. That's actually not a bad prediction. That could easily, like I think in the past, it's really not can the Packers win the division, but can the other teams win the division? Can the Packers not win the division is the real question here. Because the Lions looking rough. I don't know what happened with Stafford. Stafford might be down. Vikings, I don't think they're a 4-2 team. I really don't. I mean, they played us banged up as hell. I mean, anyone that plays us right now is looking at a pretty decent win. I don't know how we're going to fare against the Saints. Probably not too well, speaking of them. Don't really matter, the other stats. Doesn't matter. But let's take a look at Tony Romo's stats as a Packer. And man, did he have some numbers. 5,300 yards, 34 touchdowns, 16 picks. The kind of funny part about having a guy like Romo is he'd probably get hurt as well. He's just as glass as anyone. And once you join the Packers, that's where it goes really downhill. 21 touchdowns for Ty Mont. Just call it a hunch. Don't think that's going to happen this year. 5 fumbles, maybe. Jordy Nelson, 1,600 yards. Adams, 1,000. Cobb, under 1,000. Understandable. Martellus Bennett, that's a little high for Marty B, I think. Let's go on. Blocking was great. That's very unrealistic. Take it. The injuries are off, so... a lot of the players that would definitely not play have played. The Packers are probably the most injured team in the league right now. I haven't really paid attention to other teams' injuries, but just as a Packer fan, I know how injured we are week in and week out. I think it's safe to say. First, offensive. What about the defensive? Number 9. We did not change any of the XP sliders as well. Tony Romo almost wins MVP as his quote-unquote first season start. Let's go on, though. Of course, he'll be Rookie of the Year whenever we get to it. Defensive Player of the Year, no one on the Packers. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Tony Romo. Montravius Adams almost got a number 2. He almost got the first for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't even remember if Adams has been playing this year. I honestly don't remember seeing him a bit. Glenn Dix, number 6. He's kind of not having a great season this year, but 10-6 is pretty nice. Can we even make the playoffs? Can we move on to the Super Bowl, though? I'm going to argue that Rodgers... I should have actually done that. It is what it is. But I'm going to argue that if the Packers can make the playoffs, Rodgers could come back by the divisional week. We don't have any work. Could we not do that, EA? Could we not do that? We're simming to the Super Bowl. Let's sim 4 years into the future. Why don't we? God, it always does that every damn time, and it ruins me. I'm going to have to go week by week. I don't think we're going to have the... Yep, we don't. Sweet. So I'm going to have to find it in the news to see. Good job. The Packers are not rebuilding. They're reloading. Tells me 1 QB away. Did Tony Romo retire after 1 year as a rookie, technically? That's kind of rude. Tony Romo's right there, and he's listening. My stories. What do we have? After homing over the Falcons. The Packers continue to look impressive in their playoff run, defeating the Panthers. And we lost in the championship game to the Eagles 34-24. That's actually not super unrealistic, that playoff route, you know? We don't know who wins the Super Bowl. We know that we do not win it, and that's all that really matters. Not top stories. Let's go all stories. Who did win the Super Bowl? Eagles beat the Chiefs 29-23. Could happen. Honestly, could happen. Who knows? But more importantly, let's move on and see what the next quarterback can do. Well, here we are. What's his name? His name is Kaepernick, and he is the starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. I don't know. The Packers are one of those teams that we just do not like controversy at all. So this one is almost as unrealistic as Romo, but at the same time, if you were going to put your life on which one is more likely to happen, not a doubt you put it on Kaepernick. Who knows? I mean, he might be off the market by then. Who knows? 10-6 again. Maybe Rodgers is a bit of a system quarterback. Do not win the division this time, though. The Lions are all over it. Let's take a look. I don't know if I even showed you guys that we didn't force win or anything. I don't know if it really matters. Oh, crap. I actually forgot to give us wins as well. So Kaepernick actually did really well because we were supposed to have 2 wins there, 3 wins, 4 wins. So yeah, I guess it's not too bad. We lost an extra win, so we should have been 11-5. 11-5, 35-38. That'd be devastating, but at the same time, I would be so ecstatic. What a win, by the way, 40-37 at the end. Clutch as hell. Let's take a look at the stats, though. We know 4,900 yards. It's wider these options, man. This team is not bad. Colin Kaepernick only about 400 yards less than Tony Romo. Touchdowns was right on par, and I think picks was right on par as well. Very similar. Touchdowns rushing were nowhere near as great. Kaepernick 3.7 per receivers this time. Martellus Bennett not even close to the yards he had. Same with Jordy, but still lots of distribution. Offensive line, a much more realistic offensive line this time. Giving up like almost 30 sacks, maybe a little bit more. Sack total, Nick Perry, Montravius Adams. Adams looking pretty good in Sim, I'll tell you that. Demarius Randall, 6 picks. Could be. I think he's pretty close to on par. He's got like 2 or 3 now. I mean, it's not like he's been playing great. He's been a little lucky, but still 6 picks is nice no matter how you want to look at it. Let's look at the awards. I don't think there's an award we would have won. Kaepernick was number 4, though. That's pretty good. Kaepernick could be the move. Number 3 overall. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Best quarterback, number 3. What else do we have? Any award at all? Demarius, number 2. Yeah, no awards at all there, but going on into the playoffs, let's just sim week by week. I'm going to sim 1 week. I'm going to go from the wild card to what? The conference? And we lose the very first game. I'm almost certain I clicked 1 week, but it appears here we are simulating into the off season. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me a third time, you're playing an EA sports game. But that's besides the point. We have no results at all, apparently. It is what it is. Yeah, I know. I thought maybe I could take a look at all of them at once, you know, save myself some time. Nope. Can't do that. Can't do that at all. Let's take a look at who won the Super Bowl, more importantly. The Niners have hired their new head coach, Mike McCarthy. That's pretty cool. It looks like the Chiefs beat the Eagles, which is the, I believe, opposite. Yeah, I think the Chiefs beat the Eagles. I don't know the score, though. And then our stories, we beat the Lions. Okay. Didn't tell us how we lost, but we did lose. It's all that matters. And now, moving on to the last simulation that I want to take a look at. Here we are with the final and most realistic option. Do nothing at all. I don't know where Callahan is. I had him at backup. Brett Hundley, the answer. The man. The myth. I don't know. We don't know where we're at yet. Brett Hundley, 73 overall, man. Got some speed. I'll tell you what. My dude's got some speed. And do I believe in him? Yes. what I don't believe in is our ability to stay healthy. So Brett Hundley, I'm sorry, pal, but you could be on your way to being injured as well. And even if you're not, everyone around you will be. So, you know, you might have a good wide receiver core that we know of. I mean, this wide receiver core might not look the same, and shouldn't look the same at least, unless Rodgers really is a system quarterback, which I don't think anyone is calling that to be the truth. But, I mean, we're going to go on. Oh, actually, I want to make sure we have those force wins on for this one. This one's the most important to me because this is like a... If you're not going to gather anything, if you're going to be like, oh, that's stupid Romo, stupid Kaepernick, you're at least going to be like, okay, well, this is what Madden thinks is going to happen, you know? It sucks so much knowing we should be 5-1, potentially 6-0. That Falcons game, there was a couple of those pick plays that if you take those back, the whole game changes. But, you know, at the end of the day, when you don't win and you're going to try to reach on that, But I will say there was a damn good chance we would have won with Rodgers. Not a question. Completely different game. I mean, the defense was they actually pretty much showed up. With Rodgers, I think we would at least put up 30. You know, and even if we didn't put up 30, the Vikings wouldn't have put up 23. How many short fields they had, and yet the defense still came up every time. It was shocking. Every single time it happens. Packers offense shows up, defense doesn't. Offense is gone, defense is there. Nobody is on the same page. Every page is going to be same soon, though, when we are looking at a top 15 pick probably. I'm going to be so devastated if we're like a 9-7 team that just misses or just makes, forced to play without Rodgers and loses the first game. It's just so typical. I know with a team like ours, you don't want to give up the season, but if Rodgers ain't in, it's over. I'm telling you. If you're looking right now and there's no Rodgers in the future for this season, call it quits. That's all I'm saying. And surprisingly, yet again, another 10-6 season. System quarterback, how are you doing? Not really, but what were the scores here? Nothing really crazy realistic. Let's take a look at how Hundley did. I've seen him do pretty well in the past. Let's take a look if he's the worst of the bunch, and I don't think he was. Yeah, I think he was close to the best. I mean, no, he was definitely the best. He got sacked 42 times. Not a question. If you can put those numbers up and you get sacked 42 times, like let's compare that to the league. There's no way anyone got that close. Okay, there's a couple of them. Number one, oh Jesus. Okay, there's a lot of guys with more. So 42 is actually not that bad, I guess. Maybe it is. It's not great. It's like middle of the pack. Did I show the rest of the stats? Let's see. Ty Montgomery, decent yards per carry, I suppose. Hundley, a little bit of yards. 3 1,000-yard receivers. So far what I'm seeing, the best option is Hundley because you get just off a sim. You get development for the guy that you think could very well be the future. I know there's a decent bit of the Packers, not just community, but the coaching staff and higher ups that do think maybe when Rodgers is gone, Hundley's the guy. And it's a little weird of an age timing, but you never know, especially with an injury like this, how long Rodgers has left. Projection of maybe 29, 30 for Hundley. It's a little old, but when you're sitting back up, I don't know. It's a little early to say so, but it is what it is, I believe. I believe that the man can take us. Like I said, I think Hundley's good enough. I just don't think the rest of the team is. That's the problem. It's not about Hundley as much as it is the rest of the team. We've seen Rodgers have to make crazy plays happen. Hundley here, Offensive Player of the Year and best quarterback for the NFC side. Will that happen? Obviously not, but still, not bad. If Sim is going to tell me anything, we're looking okay. Green Bay Nation could be all right, but simulation's a lot different. Hundley gets to a 79 overall. Did they up his dev? He gets to quick dev. Nice. That's not bad after 1 year. That's not too bad. Let's advance week by week if we can. I'm going to have to take a look at the stats if we lose our first game, which we do. I don't know why it really matters to look at the stats, but I kind of want to. And we lose 35-21. This is my worst nightmare IRL. Don't know why I said that. That's weird. Definitely my worst nightmare. Making the playoffs just barely, and then doing this. Actually, my worst nightmare would be, like I said, 9-7. Make the playoffs, but lose. Because at least if we win the division, fair enough, we get the division title. It's something. But when you're just losing straight up, that is a nightmare. Advance the next league. Let's see if it actually does it this time. This is going to be it's kind of an important one as well with the Hundley-driven league, which, I mean, there's a bit of a trickle down. I'm not going to say there isn't. I mean, if we lose in the first round, which I would say if we were going to make the playoffs, most people would probably say we wouldn't lose the first round. you know, it does have a little bit of a trickle down. So, Jesus Christ, are we going to be simming into the next 10 years? Jesus. Texans, Rams. What in the world? So the Rams win 38-28 over the Texans. I guess, to be fair, the Texans have a chance. I really don't know what to peg on the Rams at all, but that's my video for the day. Well, not really the video for the day, but this is a video. Let me know what you guys think. The real question is, what do you think the Packers are going to do? You think we're going to go for a quarterback in free agency, or maybe trade for someone? That was like links of maybe talking about trading for Eli Manning. A, I don't see the Giants doing it, and B, if they do, it'd be too much. And C, basically for the Packers at this point, anything is too much. A $3 million deal for an Eli Manning is too much. That's the way we look at free agency. We want our guys to develop. We don't want a guy that can potentially come in now and win it all. No, screw that. I don't know. I'm going to predict now the Packers' record's going to be 8-8. It sucks, but it is what it happens. Maybe worse, actually. We could go like 6-10, 7-9. And then you'll have people at the end of the year saying, oh, Rodgers isn't that great still. Although Packers crumble every time he's gone. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hopefully you come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!